I'm Katie. I'm a wife, mom. I work full time. I love makeup and skincare. I truly believe every single woman wants to look and feel her best and have the tools and the resources to help you get there. Today, I'm going to be sharing with you the e.l.f. Camo Hydrating CC Cream. This is a full coverage, long lasting, dewy finish CC cream with an SPF of 30, and I'm going to be applying the shade Light, which is 280N. I'm going to apply the product. I'm going to give you my overall first impressions, and I'm going to do a wear test to see just how well it wears throughout the day. So let's get into this. Okay, before I get too far in it, I know I'm going to get the question, what am I wearing on my eyes and what am I wearing on my lips? So on my lips right now, I'm wearing the Wet n Wild Mega Glow Blush in Dusty Pink, and I also have it on the eyes, but what I did is I took my Unique Pressed Shadow in Dizzy. This is a really great translucent shimmer. Let me show it to you. And this looks like boring on its own, but on top of any of your eyeshadows, it can completely transform it. I'll post a link to both products down in the description. Anything that I talk about in this video, you're gonna find the link down in the description. So let's get started. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about the e.l.f. Camo Hydrating CC Cream. Again, this is gonna be more of a dewy finish. I was taking a look at the website. It has that SPF 30 in it. It's going to be color correcting, and it's going to really help hydrate the skin. It's great for all skin types, so if you like to have a little bit more of that dewy finish, this is going to be a really great option for you. It has vitamin B5, some type of fancy mushroom, hyaluronic acid, and that SPF that's going to help protect the skin from the sun. It doesn't have any phthalates, parabens, that bad stuff that you don't want in your makeup and skincare. It's free from sulfates. It's also cruelty-free and vegan. So let's get into this product. Okay, so first thing, let's go in with that Power Grip Primer. This is also from e.l.f. I'm gonna just take a little bit on each side of the face, and I'm gonna blend that in, as it runs down my face and onto my shirt. I like to use this putty primer applicator. Honestly, you all, I use it for like all my primers. I absolutely love this stuff. It's so good. And I love this brush to blend it out. The only thing is that this primer breaks me out, so I try not to use it too often. All right, so now I'm gonna let that dry before I go in with the foundation. Okay, so now that we've let that primer set, now I'm gonna go in with the CC cream. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to shake it up. Today I'm going to be using my Unique Kabuki brush. I love using my Kabuki brush to apply any of my foundations. And I'm going to kind of prime the pump here. I'm going to take this mainly on the cheeks and then out onto the rest of the face. Blend that in. I might need just a smidge more underneath the eyes there. Press into the skin. I'm going to take a little bit, just a smidge, onto the forehead. Blend that out. All right, so I will be back. I'm going to let that dry. I'm going to go in with the rest of my makeup, and I will let you know like how everything is sitting on the skin. We'll look up close and personal. So I'll be back. Okay, so now that I have done the rest of my face makeup, looking up close in the mirror, it looks like my blush and my bronzer blended out really nicely with this foundation. My skin looks hydrated, but it doesn't look super shiny, maybe a little bit shiny on the forehead. I'll be really anxious to see how it wears throughout the day, so stay tuned and I will share that with you. Okay, so end of the day, this definitely is a little bit oily for me. What I would do is I would go in with a little bit of matte pressed powder on top of this, or even like my Unique Prime and Set powder, and that's gonna help kind of cut down on the shininess, the oiliness. Again though, this is supposed to be more of a dewy finish product. So I'm gonna come back tomorrow. I'm going to try a different primer, going to see how it wears throughout the day, and I'll give you my thoughts. Then I'm going to go in, I'll use the powder, and I'll give you my thoughts on that process as well. Stay tuned. And with my Unique Bare You Illuminating Face Primer, This is like my go-to face primer. So I want to see now how the foundation wears with this primer. That's not an e.l.f. primer, a different primer. I'm going to just take that again all over the face. You can see it gives me a really nice glow. It's called an illuminating primer for a reason. It also has skincare properties in it. I really, really like this primer a lot. I feel like my makeup looks flawless when I use this primer. So I'm gonna let this dry for about 5 minutes or so before I go in with that foundation. So I'll be back. Okay, so now that I've let that primer set for 5 minutes or so, now I'm gonna go in, I'm gonna apply it again. I'm gonna kind of do the same thing. Maybe I'll go directly on the face this time. It is an airless pump. So if you can't get the product out, just tap it on your palm and that will bring the product down to the end. I also like the fact that you can see the product here. So if you truly are at the end of the product, you're gonna be able to tell right away. I'm gonna just take that kabuki brush, blend that in all over the skin. I like to make sure when I'm blending in my foundation, I go out to my ears and I also go down my neck. So if for some reason the color is not the exact match, then I at least can kind of blend it and it will look somewhat close. If I take it down the neck and along the ears and along the jawline, it's not as obvious that you don't have like a really good match. All right, now I'm gonna just kind of press into the skin there. You can use your fingers, you can use a sponge. I like to use my kabuki brush. I'm a brush person. So blend that all in. Okay, I'll be back to show you what this looks like with the rest of my face makeup on. Makeup is looking good. I have it all on, ready to go. So I will come back and let you know how it is wearing throughout the day. I will say again, the other makeup products that I'm using on my face, on my eyes, on my lips, all that, like that is interacting with that amazing foundation, like just blends really, really nicely into the skin. I'm not seeing any kind of creasing or gathering, and I haven't even used any type of setting spray. So now I'll be back. Okay, so end of the day, and you can see on my makeup, it looks like at a normal distance, it doesn't look bad. Up close, I felt like I'm seeing a lot of like slipping. The product is not really sitting on the skin as nicely. So I definitely think that this product, you want to make sure that you get the right kind of primer to go with it. And again, I have the oily combination skin. So that with the illuminating primer, with just like a really hydrating foundation, I'm not really setting up my skin for success. I am going to try tomorrow. I'm going to come back one more time. I'm going to try a mattifying face primer, and I'm going to try setting it with some type of powder and see how that wears throughout the day. Don't ask about my lip color. It's retired. You can't get it anymore. But I'll be back tomorrow with a whole new trial of makeup. So stay tuned. We're going to do the mattifying face primer. This is from Unique, and this helps give you more of that matte finish. It also helps minimize the appearance of pores, and then of course it helps your foundation last all day long and fills in those fine lines and wrinkles. So I'm going to take that, massage it into the skin, and then let that dry for 5 minutes, and then I'll be back to apply the CC cream. Okay, so now I'm going to take my Unique Kabuki brush. I'm going to take that CC cream, pop it onto the skin, and blend that out with that Kabuki brush. So again, what I'm going to do is once this dries onto the skin, I'm going to take a little bit of my Unique Complexion Plus pressed powder to give it a little bit more coverage, as well as to give it a little bit more of that matte finish. So I'm hoping by sandwiching it with matte products that it will wear a little bit better and it will look really good on the skin. I just was not super thrilled with how it sat on the skin yesterday. I also washed my brushes, so I'm hoping that helps as well. You want to make sure that you wash your makeup brushes on a regular basis. Not only does it help the health of your lashes, the health of your brushes, but what it also does is if you're struggling with breakouts, It can help with that. Also, it's going to allow the makeup to glide onto the skin smoother. There's so many benefits to making sure you regularly clean your brushes. So I'll be back. I'll let this sit for a minute and I'll put on that powder. So now that that CC cream has set, I'm going to go in with my Unique Complexion Plus pressed powder in the shade Chiffon. I'm going to take my looser brush. This is my Unique setting powder brush. If you want just like a dusting of coverage, very, very light, and just mainly using it to set the makeup, this is the good brush option for you, because what this is going to do, it's loosely packed bristles. It's just going to lightly apply that product to the face, versus if you used your kabuki brush with that densely packed brush structure, it's going to really pack that product in. All right, so just take that all over the face. All right, I am going to be back. I'll let you know if I feel like this wears better throughout the day, so stay tuned. Okay, so end of the day, I know it may not look like it. It may look a little bit shiny. I do feel like it maybe wore a smidge better with the mattifying primer and then the powder on top, but it's still probably not my favorite foundation. And again, I think a lot of that has to do more with like my skin type versus the foundation itself. So if you have any questions, don't hesitate to ask. But again, if you have oily combination skin, this hydrating CC cream may not be a good option for you. If you love foundation videos, make sure you go and watch one of my viral foundation videos next.